Hey guys, how's it going? Melt here. Welcome to today's video where today, um, I'm gonna talk about the Odyssey movie. Now, I've just watched the movie this evening and I have returned home and watched a couple of YouTube videos. A bunch of random YouTube videos, okay? So, I haven't sat down and collected my thoughts yet about the movie, so I'm gonna kinda do that in this video because I've just watched it like this evening and came home and watched a bunch of random YouTube videos. So yeah, I'm gonna collect my thoughts about the movie in this video. Okay, so the Odyssey movie. What do I think about the Odyssey movie? Sorry. I think it's when it comes to like historical or mythological movies in Hollywood that aim to depict either an historical event or a mythological event, I think this movie is one of the better ones. Definitely one of the better ones, especially for mythology. Especially for mythology, mate. This is yeah, very good movie. Yeah, I'd say one confusing part about the movie is with Athena, because throughout the movie, Athena is portrayed to be the goddess Athena. Oops, my bad. Hold on. So Athena is portrayed to be the goddess Athena, right? But then if you actually watch the movie till the end, um, there is an issue with that. Is the fact that in the end, when Odysseus is talking with his wife Penelope, um, he talks about his haunting memory of the war, specifically the sacking of Troy. Or was it Troy? Yeah. I it's been a while since I've like been deeply invested into any sort of mythology, so my recollection of any mythological tale is full of holes like Swiss cheese, like the cheese you see in cartoons, right? So, yeah, so yeah, I don't remember any sort of mythology very well. I forgot quite a fair bit of details from every single mythology that I was and still am interested in, right? So, yeah, so I don't know. It was sacking of Troy, right? I'm pretty sure it was sacking of Troy. Regardless, Odysseus talks about him sacking Troy, his memory of it. He's recollecting it with his wife Penelope. And here's the thing, right? And when he's doing so, when he's. Oops. Oh, yeah, there's a touch. So when he's talking about it, he mentions the he doesn't mention it, but there is a scene where this girl is killed in front of Odysseus, like beheaded. It isn't depicted in the movie. I don't know why. It's just depicted with the statue, beheading of a statue. But yeah, uh, a a local from Troy was beheaded, right? So apparently, the girl Odysseus has been talking to is not Athena, but instead just his haunting memory of that girl who got beheaded in front of him. The civilian girl who got beheaded in front of him, and he has been imagining the voice of Athena through this girl, because this girl also cries, right? While Odysseus is crying internally, remembering the beheading, the girl, the in front of him, who's just a figment of his imagination, is also crying. So, and why would Athena cry like that? It does not make any sense why Athena, out of all people, Athena would cry like that. So, I don't think that girl played by Zendaya. Zendaya is supposed to be Athena. I don't think Zendaya was playing Athena. I believe Zendaya was playing a figment of Odysseus's imagination, his conscience, you could say. But yeah, that part is a bit confusing. But yeah, the movie is good. I remember this one scene in the movie when uh, he talks to that girl, and then she tells him to be like the blade of grass instead of the tree during the storm, and Odysseus listens to her advice and successfully gets back home. The scene of him washing up in his home, Attica, is like that is like such a like holy thirst trap, bro. Bro has like a full on body of a Greek god, like full on Greek god body. Like that's such a thirst trap, dude. I don't care if he's old and the fact that he has been adventuring without taking a shower for like several years now. Bro has the body of a Greek fucking god, mate. Like that was such a thirst trap, though. That was such a thirst trap. But yeah, but yeah, dude. Yeah. I feel like the movie tries to like push away from like senseless violence you see in action movies where it's like kaboom, boom, kaboom, boom, 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 kaboom, and people are just fighting here and there without rhyme or there's no sense to it. Like you don't actually feel anything. It's just a bunch of like choreographed fighting scenes with explosions everywhere. Right, right. I feel like the movie has been trying to stay away from that as much as possible, right? I feel like the movie has definitely been trying to stay away from that as much as possible, but there are still those, but because it's an action movie, there are still scenes that are like, basically like that, especially towards the end when Odysseus fights off all the suitors, yeah, if I remember correctly, that's the actual part of the myth, right? It's the actual part of the myth. It's basically the very thing that the movie is trying to be, trying to like push itself away from, but it's a part of the Greek myth, though. Like you can't argue what is already in the myth. You can't argue against that. So yeah, the ending scene was basically like a a choreographed fight scene, like a choreographed senseless fight scene where everyone was like shink slink kabam. You know, yeah. So yeah. Also, the thing with like the villain of the story, I guess the villain. I haven't been paying attention to him for the most part. That guy. What's his name again? I don't even know his name yet. I haven't been paying attention to most of his dialogue or anything, right? So, he's supposed to be like the main suitor guy who's the leader of all the other suitor guys, and Odysseus kills him. And there is a plot point with that suitor guy and Sinan, who Sinan is the soldier played by Elliot Page, where he lies about the Trojan horse, saying that it's a gift, but it's not actually a gift. It's an it's a surprise attack. But yeah. But by the way, did you know that's what the Trojan horse virus is based on? If you have any education in computer science whatsoever, like any level of education in computer science whatsoever, like the Trojan horse virus or whatever, malware is literally based on the Trojan horse from Greek mythology. Like literally based on the Trojan horse from Greek mythology. That's why it's called the Trojan horse malware. Anyway, I'm just a bit nerdy. I'm very nerdy. Also Achilles tendon, can't forget that. But yeah, what else? The opening of the movie, it was a lot of like chitter chatter. Not gonna lie, the opening of the movie was a lot of chitter chatter. Like a lot of chitter chatter. Also, Elliot Page. People have been lying on the internet like straight through their teeth, bruh. They have been lying straight through their teeth and claiming that Elliot Page was gonna play Achilles. Elliot Page did not play Achilles. Okay, in fact, I don't think Achilles is even portrayed in the movie. Elliot Page was playing a completely different soldier, like a completely different soldier, dude. A soldier called Sinan, okay? He was not playing Achilles whatsoever. That's a complete and utter lie. Whoever spread that lie, shame on you, buddy. Shame on you, whoever spread that lie that Elliot Page was playing Achilles. That's an absolute fucking lie. He was actually playing Sinan, bruh. He was actually playing Sinan. But yeah. Also back to that guy, the main suitor guy. I feel like the tie between him and Sinan is important, but I haven't been paying attention to like most of his dialogue, so I don't know what his deal is. The main villain guy. I don't know what his deal is. I haven't been paying attention to most of his dialogue or anything, so I don't know what his tie to Sinan is. Why Sinan would want to give that uh, lottery thing to that guy, or and all of that, right? So yeah, um yeah. What else do I have to say about the movie? What else? Also, Odysseus, I feel like Odysseus's characterization has some flaws here and there. Like, for example, with the Cyclops, right? Like, they were rat free, right? Odysseus was out of the cave, and his men were also out of the cave, and they were free to go to the boats and all of that, right? They could have easily just made their way to their ship and just sailed away. But instead, what Odysseus, the war veteran, by the way, the battle hardened, PTSD filled war veteran, right? This guy decides to shoot the Cyclops in the eye as they were about to leave, as they were home free, right? They were literally home free, and this guy, I don't know what his problem is. He just decides to shoot the Cyclopes in his eye, like straight in the eye. Like, what the fuck is the deal with that, mate? What? I don't think that's good for Odysseus' characterization. Like this guy who was traumatized by warfare, uh, and wizened up as well by warfare. He's a veteran and is supposed to be stoic throughout the movie. All of a sudden, just decides to shoot Cyclops, like the Cyclops, for no reason, but it's simply out of spite or some shit like that. Like, I don't. That's definitely not good for Odysseus' characterization. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why he did that. Like, because of that, I think they lost like 2 men. Like, because of that, dude. um, yeah, also when sailing throughout the oceans, some of the stories are more interesting. The scene with the witch, though, usually in a fantasy movie, you just expect transfiguration to be like quick and simple, just a snap of the fingers, and they will like transform into whatever form you want, the conjurer wants. But in this movie, they did not go for that. Just snap the fingers and they'll turn into pigs. No, It was like the whole scene, like an entire fucking scene of her actually physically shaping their skulls and all of that. Like an entire fucking scene of her shaping their skulls and all of that. It was a slow and painful process. I don't think I've ever seen transfiguration depicted that way, like ever in my life. Like forever, dude. I don't think I've ever seen transfiguration depicted like that. Like straight up, bruh. Also, yeah, this witch gal, she's a misandrist or some shit like that, right? She talks about how his men are like pigs or whatever. But basically, she was on the men are pigs energy. She was on that type of energy, dude. Also, I think also the first thing I suspected was that she was doing cannibalization, which she is doing cannibalization. By the way, the any men who come on the island, she transfigures them into various creatures, and apparently those creatures are just inner truths about their own selves, right? So, for example, she does not actually choose what non-human animal those men are gonna be. For example, for Odysseus's men, she did not choose them to be pigs. Apparently, they just uh, transformed into pigs. She just transforms into any animal, right? Because there's this other man in the movie who turns into a deer. Turned into a deer. It's not actually depicted as turning into a deer in the movie, but yeah. Um, but yeah, so apparently it's a reflection of their inner self, right? So, at least according to that witch woman, it's a reflection of their inner self, probably. But, yeah. Also, there was a scene for a brief moment, like towards the finale, after Odysseus fights off all the suitors. I, I felt like Odysseus was gonna die, and I was like, damn, bro, this asshole. He tried so. His family wanted him back so fucking hard, and after all of this, after many years, he's finally reunited with his family, who wanted him to come back so badly. And finally, now that he's reunited, he's just gonna die. He's just gonna bleed and die, this asshole. Like for a brief moment I was thinking that, but thankfully Odysseus did not end up dying in that scene due to his injuries. He ended up surviving, because otherwise I would have straight up cursed him out, dude. Like straight up. Not because it's his fault, but it kinda is, for trying to fight off many suitors, I guess. But yeah. Also, what else do I have to say about the movie? Um, what else? Also, hairstyles. I I wish all of the hairstyles were accurate to actual Greek hairstyles, because some of them have like braids and all of that, right? Also, like people have been complaining that, oh no, you portrayed black people in the Greek story. I don't have a problem with like people of color in the Greek story. I don't know why some people like make choose to make it a problem. Like as soon as they see a black actor casted into a movie where it's the history of Europe or whatever, they get so pissed off. Like, but yeah, me personally, I don't have a problem with like people of color playing parts in like European history. Like, I don't have a problem if they cast black actors or whatever, right? That shit is completely okay. But what is a problem is the hairstyle. Like, make the hairstyle historically accurate. Like, some of them have straight up braids, which is not actual Greek hairstyle. Like it's not actual Greek hairstyle, dude. Like they did not wear braids back then, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. Um what else do I have to say about the movie? Also the thing about the suits is let me try to collect my thoughts a bit more about the movie. Let me try to collect my thoughts. Um let's see. What else do I have to say? I think it's a good movie. It's not like as like bad as people were portraying it to be. Like on the internet, people were portraying it to be a horrible movie, but they were lying straight through their teeth, mate. They were straight up lying through their teeth. Like they lied about Elliot Page. Like they completely lied about Elliot Page. And yeah, and yeah, the movie is not as bad as they portray it to be. It's really not that bad, dude. It's really not that bad. Um, yeah. Also, Agamemnon. That's the Spartan king, right? The Spartan king. Was it that Agamemnon? Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Uh, the Odyssey cast. Was it Agamemnon or was it Menelaus? The Odyssey. Spartan king. The Spartan Kings featuring. No, not that Odyssey. It's talking about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is not the one I'm talking about. Movie. The Spartan King in Christopher Nolan's film The Odyssey 2026 is Menelaus, played by actor John Bernthal. No? Hold on. Menelaus is the bald guy, right? I'm pretty sure Menelaus is the bald guy. The heavily armored king who keeps his face and body obscured in Christopher Nolan's epic film adaptation is Agamemnon. Yeah, Agamemnon. About Agamemnon, right? Literally almost every single scene where Agamemnon is present, except for one, is basically him just aura farming, dude. It's basically him just aura farming. Like he wears this armor that makes him look big and menacing. Like I think he's physically bigger too than most of the other people, but it's mainly his armor that makes him look so much bigger and menacing compared to all the other people in the movie. And also every single scene he's depicted in is is where he has authority like all the fucking time, dude. Every single scene except for one scene, every single fucking scene he's depicted in, he has a lot of authority. Like him coming through the gates of Troy, like it's portraying him as the final boss of the siege, dude. Like, and then there are other scenes where Odysseus passed down to Agamemnon, and he's always clad in his menacing armor, and every single one of his scenes is him having authority, and there is always this sound effect in the background, like a boss, like in video games when there's a final boss, it's that kind of sound effect in the background all the time. All of his scenes are basically him just aura farming to the obtained degree, dude. It's basically him just aura farming literally every single one of his scenes except for one. He's always, like I said, there are three main things that contribute to him aura farming in almost every single one of his scenes. His armor, we can't even see his face properly. His armor, his authority in the scenes he's depicted in, his absolute authority in the scenes he's depicted in, and the sound effect in the background, dude, it's like insane. He always feels like the final boss of the fucking video game whenever he shows up on screen. Like, that's literally almost every single scene with him, except for one, and that one scene is where he died at the hands of his wife. Like, literally. Every single scene except for one where he died at the hands of his wife. He's just aura farming like 24/7, bruh. He can't get enough. He's always on that grind, the aura farming grind, bruh. Like, what the fuck? Why do they have Agamemnon like that? Why? It's like Christopher Nolan just woke up and decided, hey, let's just have Agamemnon just aura farming and doing nothing else but just aura farming the whole fucking time. Like, it's basically just that with Agamemnon. Like, literally that, dude. But yeah. Also, how the fuck did the main villain become the leader of the suitors anyway? Like, it's made clear that not every suitor agrees with his attitude, the way he treats homeless people, and all of that. Right? The way he treats homeless people and all of that, right? So, like, other suitors clearly disagree with him, but then they still choose to follow him for some reason. It's like, that part doesn't make sense, but, yeah. Also, do I have anything to say about Odysseus' son? Do I have anything to say about him? Let me think. I don't know. I think that is it for now. If I do think of something more to say later on, I'll make another video, I guess. But yeah, that is it for now. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, bye bye. Hold on. Bye bye.